so important. I won't ask for a show of hands if you've already voted, but obviously today's the election. Carlos, your home country is Switzerland, and your country has been voting digitally since 2010. Talk about how governments will be impacted by technology, how soon we will be voting digitally.
Absolutely. So actually, why I was in the UN for many years, 15 years in the UN. I was leading the security and IT department of the United Nations in Geneva. And already at that time, because Switzerland we vote a lot, Switzerland is a referendum country. If you want to build a road, we go and vote. So voting is part of our life. And obviously, voting physically, it's not a good thing. I mean, you have to, wear the weather, wait on queues, and we are in a world where we do everything online. So if we all do everything online, why we don't vote online? Doesn't make any sense. So we proposed, I was in the UN, I left the UN at that time, I created WiseKey, and then I went to the government and said, why don't we do e-voting? And the answer was, yeah, okay, if that is possible, let's do it. And that was actually in 2002. The first ever e-voting project, and we have been voting since then for 18 years, and we have voted maybe 1,000 times already, and we never been hacked and never had any problem. And the reason is because the technology is so robust. So e-voting is not an issue of technology, it's an issue of trust. And before you get your population to trust e-voting, they need to trust the politicians first, because this is what it's all about. If you ever think that somebody could manipulate the vote or intercept the vote, then obviously it's like not trusting an internet service provider, then will steal your private data. So for that, you have to also increase the knowledge and the I will say maturity of the population of the voters. So things like digital identities, using blockchain technology to decentralize the vote on ledgers, because one of the beauty of blockchain technology is that once you vote, your vote is immediately registered in a ledger, and anyone, regardless of what party, can access and verify that that vote has been executed, and that ledger cannot be modified. It's totally locked and cannot be modified or intercepted. So that builds trust. And the beauty of this technology, obviously it's a process. You cannot just say, let's do e-voting next year. But if you work into that direction, you're going to create a much better trusted environment in government, which is what it's all about. One of the problems we are facing in the world now, look what happened in Brazil, what is happening in Italy, what happened in Belgium, is that we are losing the trust of the politicians. We are in this generation, especially millennials, they are coming now and they're saying we don't trust any more politicians. And this is a problem. If you don't trust the person that's supposed to be there to represent you, you have a problem. So I think technology can really help on that. Because we do payments every day online. We transfer billions of dollars by the internet. Why cannot we vote? So obviously voting is part of this human code. By the way, on the point of human code, just a very important thing. We always say that the AI is taking over, the machines are going to control us, then the robots are becoming more intelligent. But the most sophisticated algorithm ever being done is the human algorithm. Before we arriving here, the human algorithm wake up in the morning, got dressed, crossed the road, analyzed the risk of having a traffic incident. That algorithm that is in you, that has emotion, that feels love, has pain, will never be able to be replicated in machines. Machines can improve our algorithm, means that we can become better and more efficient because machines will learn to do things faster and better than we do. But I am very much against this movement like singularity movements, that everything is going to be transferred to the robots are going to be transferring our minds and connecting to clouds, and our biological body will disappear because we don't need it anymore. That is a very extreme view of the future, and this is the entire intention of this book, is to put the human part as the center of the gravity and be very happy and be very satisfied that we are by far the best algorithm ever being created and the most complicated and complex one.
I think, Carlos, that we begin the book by talking about just how incredible this technology that we are is. And we continue to try and reinforce that, and I think the single most important message for me is that as individuals, we have to continue to challenge those dynamic opportunities that are presented to us. One of the things that I find that could be of greatest value to our industry is that those of you who are sitting here and many others in other places around the world today have the ability to impact where money goes, how money is used, and how the output of that capital application is used for good. And we have to continue to check in on this throughout this process. We can't be afraid to ask. We can't be afraid to demand that there is a balance between what is good and what provides an opportunity for capital realization.
Thank you, David. David, you and I met because we both sit on the board of the Hugh O'Brien Youth Foundation.